How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG, which was down 0.68%. No biggie, just a slight pullback. I was unable to do a video for you guys yesterday. Haven't been feeling too well, but now I'm happy to keep you in the loop because many people are asking me, Dre, what's going on with BBIG? It's barely moving. I don't like this. Well, you know what? We'll talk about it. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.91, being down 0.68%. On the low, it tested $2.76, and then on the high, testing $2.96. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 11.531 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 23.398 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we've seen a slight pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 54.29. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day. But as far as for the 21-day EMA, the 50-day, and as well as the 100-day, we are above all of those moving averages. But we are still in a bear market since we are trading below the 200-day moving average. So the first thing that I want to point out about BBIG, this stock is on a solid uptrend at the moment. I know many people are not pleased with the price action because it's been very tight, but we could see clearly it is consolidating on an uptrend. So taking this into consideration, we had the high at $2.96. So if we break through $2.96, that's where we could see BBIG making that move into that $3 range. It had a recent spike where it got all the way to $3.41. So of course, this is a level you want to see actually be broken because we've seen it be a continuous resistance area in the past. If BBIG can break through $3.41, that's where we can get that move to the 200-day moving average, which is right here around $3.90. And if it could break through $3.90, no doubt in my mind, we should be able to make a strong move going to 4, but 4 will be a psychological area since we haven't been there for quite some time. If we decide to have a pullback, the low on the day was at 276. So what I want to see, I just want to see another higher low from BBIG. So maybe going into tomorrow, if we could have some support kicking in right around 280, that is fine. But technically, if we had support at 277, we are still forming a higher low. So let's see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. Let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for BBIG. So the off exchange short volume ratio is at 20.47%. And then for the off exchange short volume, it is just over 1.73 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 2,000, updated 23 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 220.06%. And the max on the day was at 301.26%. That is crazy. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 20th, it was at 20.20. And then for the close of the 23rd, being at 20.47. So right away, when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 17.81%, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. On the inflow, it's at 6.93 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 6.90 million. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0.20 million, on the medium it was 4.52 million, and then on the small it was at 2.21 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 0.23 million, on the medium it was 4.30 million, and then on the small it was 2.37 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, we could see for May the 24th, which is today, we had that outflow of negative 0.02 million, and we also did have an outflow on May the 23rd of negative 1.28 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then for the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 6.17%. So this is a consistent range for a volatile stock like BBIG. But one thing that is clear, there's still demand in the market for shares. And that's what we want to see, especially if you're swinging this or you're an investor inside of this play. Now let's move on to the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, when it comes to the price action, I must say I am loving it. Just like the McDonald's slogan. But aside from that, this stock is on a strong uptrend. Many people are not looking at the bigger picture here. Please get off the 1 minute chart, the 2 minute chart, the 3 minute, or the 5 minute chart that you're on. Instead, take a look at the daily chart. You can even take a look at the 4-hour chart or the 2-hour chart. You can see that this stock is on an uptrend. So even though it is not moving as fast as you want it to, there's still a lot to look forward to here. Now, as far as for the levels, we ended up seeing a low at $2.76. So what do I want to see going into tomorrow? It would be great if we could form another higher low. But if we don't, as long as we continue the uptrend, I wouldn't be mad at that whatsoever. Now, as far as for the high, we want to see BBIG being able to get back to $3. And we know as far as resistance in that $3 area is around 341. This has been a consistent area of resistance. So the moment we could break through 341, then I'd want to see a move at least to the 200-day moving average. Of course, I am not guaranteeing this whatsoever, and it could be a slow move up, and we could pull back as well. But again, if it can get to $3 and it decides to push to 341, that's a big move in itself. Now, as far as for the bearish case, BBIG would literally have to fall below $2.50. Yes, that is quite a bit from where it's at right now, and that's part of the reasons why I'm saying pay attention to the chart. It is still on an uptrend. It is consolidating to the upside. So I want to make sure I'm really emphasizing that. So if you are a trader, things are definitely looking good for this stock, but make sure you're using the right risk management. Also, we went on Fintel taking a look at the recent short interest information. Not only does it continue to have short squeeze potential, but when we take a look at the short borrow fee, it is well over 200%. And at one point today, it was well over 300%. So what does this mean? This is a play you want to keep on your watch list very closely. But before you jump into it, make sure that you have a game plan. You want to know what your entry is going to be, and you want to know, hey, where is my profit target? This is very important that you figure this out prior to the trade, because the last thing that you want to do is get your emotions involved and end up making the wrong decision, or even having a trade that is green turn red on you. I need to emphasize this over and over again. I know there's a lot of haters that come to this channel that don't even watch this video, and they'll say, well, you know what, this guy's pumping this stock. He wants people to buy in at whatever price. And if you've been watching my videos all the way through, or even if you're using the timestamps, you know already, on this channel, I would never tell you guys to do that. Instead, I tell you, hey, this is what it looks like if we have this pullback, or this is a particular area where we have a lot of support. Here's where we have the resistance. Here's where we have the psychological areas. I do this for a reason, so you can come up with a game plan. Of course, I can't give you guys financial advice. And while we're on the topic of talking about the psychological areas, of course, for BBIG for quite some time, it's been around 3, because every time it gets to 3, it sees a lot of selling pressure. But we know if we get past 3, the next psychological area is at 4, because it's been a long time since we've been there. But the only way for us to get to $4, like I said, we need to get a break above the 200-day moving average, which is around $3.91. Could be 92 cents, but not too far off. But I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I can't wait to see how BBIG performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.